In this exercise, we'll review the application of user text on a drawing. When we add text like tip 4 places to a dimension, we always use prefix or suffix to keep the dimension live. We would not employ user text in these cases. We'll look at an example where user text would be an ideal option. We'll work with a drawing that has a table of parts with different lengths. We want to replace the dimension 4 with a phrase length parentheses L to match the column heading in the table. We'll click on the generic edit icon and then on the 4 dimension. In the dialog box, we'll click on display text and then user text. We'll type length parentheses L in the field and click on OK. We'll now have a dimension phrase that matches the column heading in the table. So let's work with an actual file. We'll open up sample file KCV drawing 11.ckd. Let's click on the generic edit icon and then on the 4 dimension. We're going to select display text and then select user text. And we'll type our phrase length and then in parentheses the capital letter L. And then click on OK. And you'll see that the 4 has been replaced with that phrase. Now at that time we could have edited the formatting, but just in case you go back later and say, gee, let me select that dimension with generic edit. Let's go to formatting. And you know how on a table you might want to have that scripted at a larger, thicker value. We'll use Arial filled just so it stands out on the drawing. And now we've got a nice label there that references the column in the chart. So let's go back and recap. In this exercise, we reviewed the application of user text on a drawing. When we add text like tip 4 places to a dimension, we always use prefix or suffix to keep the dimension live. We would not employ user text in these cases. We looked at an example where user text would be an ideal option. We worked with a drawing that had a table of parts with different lengths. We replaced the dimension 4 with a phrase length and in parentheses the capital L to match the column heading in the table. We clicked on the generic edit icon and then on the 4 dimension. And in the dialog box, we clicked on display text and then user text. We typed length parentheses L and parentheses in the field and clicked on OK. This created a dimension phrase that matched the column heading in the table.